Peruvian stocks have surged 75% in the past year, smashing major indexes like the S&P 500 and MSCI emerging markets by huge margins. This explosive growth is driven by Paris gold and copper exports, commodities powering AI data centers, and safe haven demand amid global uncertainty. Meanwhile, US stocks are struggling, with the S&P 500 down 2% year to date, highlighting how your retirement savings could miss out if you ignore Paris market surge. Copper prices have climbed 20% over the last year, driven by rising demand for electrification and AI infrastructure, directly impacting Paris mining sector profits. With Paris pro-market government expected this April, your chance to ride this commodity wave and protect your portfolio could close fast. Peru holds nearly 22% of the world's silver reserves, making it a critical player as silver prices rise with global uncertainty and industrial demand. Ola El Shawarbi from Van Eck highlights Paris copper supply constraints as a major reason your investments in Peruvian stocks could outperform global markets. We tilog for chansbans are sultavan trend percomex so finalization, driven by rising demand for electrification and AI infrastructure, directly impacting Paris mining sector profits. With Paris pro-market government expected this April, your chance to ride this commodity wave and protect your portfolio could close fast. Peru holds nearly 22% of the world's silver reserves, making it a critical player as silver prices rise with global uncertainty and industrial demand. Ola El Shawarbi from Vanek highlights Paris copper supply constraints as a major reason your investments in Peruvian stocks could outperform global markets. Here's where it gets interesting. The AI boom means over 3,200 new data centers will need copper for power grids, driving demand and pushing prices higher. Child's copper mines also face supply challenges, reinforcing why Paris reserves put your portfolio in a prime spot to benefit from rising copper prices. EY's 2025 report confirms Paris gold reserves at nearly 4%, making gold a safe haven asset that can protect your retirement savings during market volatility. Paris copper mines are critical for the AI boom, powering over 3,200 new data centers worldwide expected by 2036, driving demand and prices higher for your investments. Ola El Shawarbi from Vanek explains that Paris copper supply constraints create a rare opportunity as new copper mines take years to open, tightening your portfolio's commodity exposure. ABI Research forecasts 3,226 data centers globally by 2036, a massive infrastructure build that will keep copper prices elevated, directly impacting your savings and retirement funds. Gold and silver, Paris' other major exports, act as safe havens during geopolitical turmoil and Alzheimer, protecting your wealth when markets get volatile and inflation spikes unexpectedly. EY's 2025 report confirms Peru holds nearly 4% of global gold reserves, a crucial fact that should influence your asset allocation before April's political shift. Peru's Antamina mine, one of the largest copper zinc mines worldwide, is ramping up production to meet soaring copper demand from AI data centers and electric grids. Copper extraction faces delays due to complex geology and environmental regulations, tightening supply and pushing prices higher, directly impacting your investments tied to mining stocks. The Peruvian government's Ministry of Energy and Mines announced new incentives this year to attract foreign investment, signaling potential growth for your portfolio in mining sectors. Barrick Gold Corporation, a major player in Paris gold mining industry, reported record quarterly profits in 2026, boosting confidence in gold-related investments for your retirement savings. Watch how rising geopolitical tensions in the Middle East are driving investors towards safe haven assets like Peruvian gold and silver, protecting your wealth amid global uncertainty. The Cerro Verde mine near Arequipa is one of Peru's largest copper producers, contributing over 300,000 metric tons annually to global supply. Southern Copper Corporation, a major player operating Cerro Verde, reported $1.2 billion in revenue last quarter, directly impacting Peru's stock market gains. Peruvian mining towns like Arequipa face growing infrastructure demands as copper exports surge, stressing roads, power, and housing for workers. The Peruvian Central Reserve Bank's recent report shows foreign investment in mining rose 18% in 2025, fueling stock market momentum and economic growth. Mining giant Glencore's expansion plans in Peru include $500 million in new copper projects, signaling further upside for your investments tied to Peruvian stocks. Peru's lithium reserves are gaining attention as electric vehicle demand surges, adding another layer to your portfolio's potential growth this year. Meet Mariana Castro, CEO of Minera Lithium Peru, spearheading new extraction projects that could boost Peru's lithium output by 30% starting 2027. Yes, the global demand for lithium is expected to triple by 2030, making Paris reserves a critical asset for your retirement savings and long-term investments. Infrastructure upgrades in Paris mining regions are accelerating, reducing production bottlenecks and potentially increasing export revenues by hundreds of millions annually. Keep an eye on Paris energy sector reforms expected in Q3 2026, which will directly impact mining costs and your portfolio's exposure to commodity price swings. Paris mining sector faces a critical power challenge. Unreliable electricity supply threatens to slow copper and gold production, risking your portfolio's gains in 2026 and beyond. The government plans to invest $1.5 billion this year to upgrade Paris' energy grid, aiming to stabilize mining operations and protect your investments from costly delays. But here's where it gets interesting. Renewable energy projects in Peru are expanding fast. But here's where it gets interesting. Renewable energy projects in Peru are expanding fast. Drop a comment. What's your biggest money worry right now?